Good afternoon, Boca. We are live. You can catch us on 740 Talk Radio, 740 AM Money Talk. You can see us. You can hear us. If you go to the website and click on the TV button, you can see us. And we have an hour show today because our good friend Scott Shabbat is up in Connecticut. So we're going to take the show, different show at the bottom of the hour. But today we have Healthy Sports Sense on 740 AM Talk Radio. And in studio we have the famous Dr. Panozzo. How are you, Doc?
Fine, very fine, thank you.
Excellent. And we have today my co-host from Freddie Fix It on Monday nights on our sister station on 1470. We have, now I was told to just call you Liz, the Canadian Becker.
No, it's so Liz Becker.
Liz Becker. How are you, Liz?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Pleasure to be here.
Excellent. And Liz has never met the good doctors. It's her first time. So she's going to sort of talk a little bit about how important it is. I think you were saying about feeling good and communications and things of that nature.
Sure. Well, I deal with, more mind work. So I love meeting doctors who are so successful when it comes to the body work, because we are mind-body beings. So I think that it's really impressive what you do, and I'd like to find out more about it myself.
Everywhere I go, Doc. I went to have dinner last night, and I ordered dinner, and the waitress was sideways. And I said to her, "You ever had that looked at?" And she said to me, "Sir, what are you talking about?" And I said, "You're crooked." She says, "Well, yeah, I have a bad shoulder, and yada yada. I have arthritis, bursitis, and all the itises in the world." And after the week that you and I have had, where we've brought in so many people who leave the office dancing, I said to her, "Well, you have to check. I need more cards, by the way. You got to check this man out." But again, for those of you who, for the last 5 weeks, if you don't know what we've been doing, Dr. Panozzo is actually the best kept secret in South Florida. And what he does is that he is able to locate pain, and he's able to heal people's pains. And Doc, why don't you fill in the blanks a little bit, because I still don't understand how you do it, but I see it, I've taped it, I've done everything in the world and watch you work, and it's just a miracle.
Well, it's a little hard to follow, but you need to have a background in anatomy and physiology. In other words, you have to know the body and how it works. That's the physiology. And then you have to think past that and say, well, what went wrong with it? What's the design and function? So it's a different look at it, completely legitimate though. MRIs are not very good, so
right.
That most people do that. But you have to get that. Plus, you have to examine people. You have to examine part by part before you know what to treat, and that's primarily what we do. Treatment of pain problems is very personal. You really have to work with the. You really have to work with the patient. It's the patient doctor together, nobody else. You don't want any technicians or anybody else around. That's how you get the best results. Yeah. So that's how we get.
I have a question. I'm really curious, because if someone comes to you and let's say they have a knee problem, so is it, to make sure that I'm understanding correctly, when you were to see them for the first time, is it not just the knee that you're focusing on? So you do a diagnosis on everything about them? No,
the knee might be the painful part, but
right.
You have to evaluate I think of it as a unit, the lower back down.
Right.
Which includes the knee and hip
right.
and ankle. So if you do it that way, then you don't miss anything. The knee is interesting in that it's very rarely hurt or injured itself. Mm-hmm. It's usually caused by something else. And you can parse the parts of the knee just by asking questions. If you know how it's made, why it's made that way. So design and function, that's the architecture.
That's what David was talking about, huh?
Right. But I design buildings to design nursing homes and so forth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it kind of fits my way of thinking. So we applied the laws of physics to the spine.
Amazing.
And the knee and the hip and the shoulder. Those are all unique examinations that we've derived over the years, and they're not available to anybody else because they come out of my head. This is what we do.
And I think
now,
that's
my son
so
does the same thing in Phoenix, though. So together, we're seeing probably 100 people a day. I mean, just doing this all the time.
That's great because, I find that most people, when they have some kind of problem that's sort of locally in one area, they'll go to a specialist for that area and they'll just focus on that when, as you're saying, the problem and the root problem could be somewhere completely different. So it's a really holistic way of approaching it to be able to get to the problem. I think it's very unique.
Yes, it does work.
My sister actually is going through now restless leg syndrome.
Yes. You want me to talk about that?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's actually knee pain.
But before you do, our toll-free number to call in, 888-721-0074. Callers would like to hear your story. If you got challenges for us, I think we touched on the challenge. We're going to be issuing a great challenge for the doctor. 888-721-0074, because I was challenged today and you came to help me with that situation. From what I'm understanding, we're good to go. We're going to fix this guy up, right?
Absolutely.
This guy's been bugging me all week, telling me this can't be. So we're going to talk about that. But let's talk about the leg syndrome.
The restless leg is actually a knee pain. It's the back of the knee and easily treated. But you have to know it's there. And, of course, we know it's there. So, the treatments nowadays are drugs that are affecting your sensorium, your brain. We don't want that. And there is no way that that what they're describing can be true. The body just doesn't work that way. So it's somebody's idea, and they put it out there. But I reject all that. It's all behind the knee, and is always easily treated.